Grand Rising YouTube, Grand Rising. Good evening, good day, depending on where you are. I'm back in again to channel messages that's sent to me, through me, and for me to share. Now, this is a combination of messages, or it's just one channeled message. All in all, and all for one. You know, everything to do with the past and nothing at all. You know, the growth, the expansion, the ascension, the knowledge and the wisdom. Right now I'm trying to slow my thoughts down. So I'm just going to kind of read what I wrote yesterday in regards to the two messages that's up with no sound. But for some reason, I was guided to leave it up because I feel like I'm connecting to high priestesses or high priest, upcoming high priestesses or upcoming high priest energies. There's a need to be aware, be mindful. So yesterday, I started writing at 7:27 p.m. It was a kind of an epiphany energy. So anyway, I wrote, it makes perfect spiritual sense to me now. Late bloomer, master manifesto though. What I set my mind to, truth, I will find. Cleanse from the past energies unknown to you. Messages will come to you, through you, and for you to share. Notice the energies which mirror your experiences. Don't pay attention so much to zodiac, but be aware, but be mindful and be aware in all things. Use your discernment as to the messages the divine is trying to bring to you. Energy don't lie. There's a reason you're instantly or initially or intuitively drawn to, may click on, or may not click on at all. Your soul, your spirit, your solar plexus will alert you. Attention, and most importantly, trust yourself. If you're here now, I feel like I'm connecting with those who's been through some things, who feels it knows, you know, kind of an energy. Being through certain spiritual attacks on your journey, it's almost like testing. I'm hearing testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. And 3 is very significant in regards to the downloads that I've been receiving over the last, since my season 7. There's some kind of energy of battle, revenge, war, attack, retreat, listen, listen twice, 22:02 on the clock. There's certain disconnections and connections that's needing to be made and happen at this time. There's a need to go back to my season 7, a need to prepare and align. I'm going to continue reading what I wrote. So it says, you've overcome so much by trusting your higher self, feeling mystical energies. And the songs that came through, I'm going to pause again. The songs that came through yesterday was Bob Marley, Mystic Motions, I believe it's called. There's a song, a culture song called Coco Tea, and it's called Young Love or Young Lover. Go home to your mama, your mama. It's all relevant and it's that deep. The other song that came through for me today is a song by, I believe it's called Outcast. And it says, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. That song is very relevant as well in regards to the energies that came through. It's deep. I will get into it, but I'm going to continue reading what I wrote. You may be feeling mystical energies and energies of enjoying the ride, solar plexus energy. You've broken barriers, you know, energies of time traveling, that kind of energies like going back to the movie Scrooge, the ghost of Christmas past, present and future. If attacked to the balance of what remains unhealed, it's like there's still a nudge, there's still something nudging you that you're needing to focus on and put your attention on in order to clear up any residues that needs to be cut away at this time for you. There's a message here of not to ignore what's unnoticed. And then I wrote here bullet point in last on the list of detachments of all that does not serve your highest good. You can run from yourself or your past. It's a loop otherwise. I said you can't run from yourself or your past. It's a loop otherwise. Constant, like a time machine, on repeat, repeat, repeat. If the Most High has a message, He will deliver it to you. Kill two birds with one stone. Free. Two birds, one stone, free. The Empress within you, or the Empress around. Lessons have to be faced, has to be learned. Blessings have to be received. Confirmation. You will see the true character of who you need to see. Just pay attention. Your ancestors will guide you, but they need you to slow down, pause, and listen, observe, listen twice. For an example, me and Tarot, being my only community past 3 Empress years, realizations, through my inner knowing, reality, the actuality, the acceptance, through the knowing of self, what's me, what's not of me, and what's for me, and what's not for me. Not allowing others' projections to reflect any of that I've built for myself. Pause. Who and what do you see? Where do you see them? How does it make you feel? Where are they going? And where are you going? Intentions. Observe through your arrival, how they react to you, how they greet you. Listen. Listen twice. What made you stop? 1. And then 2. What made you listen? Problem. Common denominator, solution. Or is it the solution, the common denominator, and then the problem? It's a loophole. I've got it here as a diagram of a cycle. Where are you being brought back to? Who does this spirit or that person's energy spirit resemble? Not necessarily in looks, but character. When someone shows you who they are, listen. This is a cycle, a 3-year cycle for me. Listen and read between the lines without being a slave to the hidden truths. Being rewarded, being some things and truths are being revealed about the nearest and the dearest to you in life. It's what you do now with what you have gained, the information. And I keep hearing, as I said yesterday in yesterday's recording, at the time of Pisces season last year when I done those messages, which is in a private folder, I kept on hearing, what would you do? Like someone's trying to plead. Like, what would you do? And I keep replying every time I hear it, not that. I would never do that. And I feel like someone's come to some kind of realization of what someone's actually done in regards to your life, your reality, your destiny. Knowledge is power, and applied knowledge is first to self, is freedom of the mind. So again, I started writing now. This was this rising after I'd realized what had happened with the no recording, no sound. 10:05 a.m. the 12th of the 11th, 2022. I was picking up an energy of casting, filming, take 3, I heard. Previous messages. There was something that was coming or being illuminated. Leo energy, because I done a calling in all stars yesterday. Something that was hidden. Virgo energy in reverse. Someone with a false heart, false intentions. A wolf in sheep's clothing. Sending towards you a hitman energy, who now has or in their fields towards you. The energy of backfired, I shared those messages also. It all adds up, it's all telling a story that's coming to light, and I feel like that energy is coming to light within now time. So I feel like that's why there's a kind of a sense of an urgency. Yesterday I was picking up an anxiety, which wasn't my anxiety. It was anxiety of the energy of the reading of who this energy is that's wanting to come towards you. They're very nervous in the energy of guilt and blame. Hot and cold. So I'm going to continue reading. Someone with a false heart, false intentions, a wolf in sheep's clothing. This hitman energy towards you. Possible Scorpio also came through. Preyed on the innocence of this Scorpio to bring endings. You was next. Awareness, no fear, because you're protected. They were coming for your sacred energy in the most disgusting, toxic ways to block your creativities. Every card spoke for itself. Exposed, exposed. This Virgo energy, Pisces, was showing no fear. There was no cards within the Pisces energy, none at all. Even when I was pulling for the Pisces zodiac, they were all blowing into other directions, and I pay attention to where my cards fall during a reading. This involves a young energy, and this is where the songs was coming in. The Coco Tea one, Too Young to Be My Lover, go home to your mama. I picked up an energy here that this mama knew that this child was in a relationship with somebody I'm hearing twice her age. Child exploitation kind of an energy. Child trafficking kind of an energy. There's some there's some kind of health energy surrounding this. Some kind of communication, final words energy, a confession of someone from your past and their environment. You may already intuitively know through your own connections with the divine, your ancestors. You too are an angel, fallen here, earth, to raise a vibration against the attacks of your oppressors. These people, groups, is wanting to make some kind of gesture, materialistic gesture. There was an energy of a vehicle, maybe not even accepted because the Ace of Pentacles came out in the reverse, so did the Chariot. Don't know if it will be accepted. I feel many don't want this energy to be a part of this energy, or then be a part of your manifestations that you've worked blood, sweat, and tears for. They're coming towards you, like I said, guilt for those involved. There's also an official person, King of Swords energy came out, and within the illustration of the card, this King of Swords has his swords up, foot crossed, very comfortable within the intellect and the knowledge and the wisdom he's gained throughout this story that he's picked apart. And there's a crown that he's holding with the sword. It's like he knows who the rightful owner of the crown is, and he's ready to expose a situation, bring light onto a situation. Detriment, I'm hearing again right now, to somebody's health. There's truth within the situation. The overall energy was the crown card from this deck, which I'm going to use again. Not that you can see it, but I'm going to use the cosmic deck. The overall energy, I would have to go back and look at that recording. But something is being exposed, 1111. To wake up to no sound, LOL. And yesterday I kept on hearing you got time. I was hearing yesterday as I was coming into the portal, 1111 portal, 2310. Going back to yesterday's intro, the Most High will bring the answers to you and to your questions in detail, to the deep thinker, able to decipher without fear. I'm hearing without fever, without becoming a slave to their emotion. Find balance, 1010. Could be a message that I did back then, 1010. And knowing at any point the table would turn in alignment, in order of the will of the Most High. Third time lucky. Again, I was going to start to record at that point, but again I got distracted. And this is when the song came through. Sorry, Miss Jackson. I noticed the owl, the wisdom through the music, the apologies a trillion times. Fire. He was speaking about Miss Jackson can't control the weather. She might be able to control the other little pretty things, the niceness and making things go smooth and Chris and Curry, I'm hearing. But when it comes on to predicting the weather, that she can't do that. Energy can be, electricity can be manipulated, but the most the natural, they can control the storms within their home, but not the storm of the home of the Most High. So bear in mind for those who say they can control weather, you can connect with weather, you're in tune with weather. So again, I wrote here electricity, anger, maybe having electricity problems, technical faults. First in, last out, I kept on hearing again. It's not what you do, but it's how you do it. It's not what you say, but it's how you say it. It's not what you do when you get out, but what you do when you're out there. You can't think about material gain. Think why you've been put in this situation, this position. What are you being shown? Who can benefit from your thought, your thought process, your healing, your coping mechanism? Each one teach one equals two. Choices, decisions, and consequences. There's no fine line. When dealing with envy and admire can become an ugly thing. It's a thin line, like love and hate, you know? I need to still deal with foundation attachments or detachments to separate. Nothing to do with and everything to do with repeated patterns, cycles. I feel I am connecting with those who still have one or two equals three things to deal with. Five, realization is truth being exposed, brought to light. And again, I'm getting this number 19. But 19, you break it down to the 10. You break that down further. That's one, new beginnings. It starts with you and your perceptions, the power within your trinity, your mind, body, and soul, your home. Protect, 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 I heard, at all costs. I need and I get, there's a need to get these things done or certain things done. Listen twice. And I was brought back to the Fuji song, I'm ready or not, here we come. And I was brought back to the part where he says, I'm a born again hooligan, ready to begin again, become a king again. And then I was getting this download channeled again, spirituality, reality, and fantasy. Careful, they will deem you crazy. Think it through logically. And then I was picking up, and this is now I'm coming into where I would do my seasons. And I feel like the next season that I do, if not this one, is going to be in relation to the energy of fairy tale energy. Going back to my other previous seasons, I'm picking up the energy of Jack and the Beanstalk. If we want to talk about this biblically as an energy, it's the energy of David and Goliath. But it's that energy of a vine, of something growing out of hand or something getting out of hand. The only way to kill it is to by cutting it, by detaching it. You understand from it? If you've got a pumpkin vine which is growing and you want it to stop from spreading, you have to cut the vine. You have to stop the poison. You have to bring the truth to a situation. And that's what needed to be done within the fairy tale. And within the biblical, it's the ego of a system, of a codependency, of something that feels that because it's greater than you, it's got more power over you. David was a little guy. He was a small energy with his 5 star, 5 stones, 5 senses. Logically, he defeated the giant, he defeated the ego. It's that energy of heroism within that star and what it represents to some perception. But the ego is it's the greed, it's the government, it's a codependency, it's toxicity. The cards were speaking for themselves again, like I said. I was literally the messenger, always guided to decks, but something very different about this energy that I'm in now in regards to this message that's coming through to me, through me, and for me to share. Because I've weathered these groups for 26 months, power of lockdown, I guess, broke chains, broke through that red foundation chakras or energy chakras, broke it down, broke through barriers within the solar plexus energy now. Self identity, positivity, passion, drive, surrendered to, accepted, ready now to open and receive the blessings. Those who you ignored are not happy right now. These groups believe that they can control destiny by manipulating power, electricity, not weather. Maybe having technical issues, electrical issues, amateur level, foundation level, easy to fix problems. Unexplainable, instantly fixed, minor issues. Because they can only manipulate energy, never control. They don't want your message to come out. They don't want you to speak your truth and expose them for who they are. Overall, it lies with you and how you respond and how you react. But sometimes you have to stand your ground and fight back, attack, I heard. Definitely feel I am connecting with High Priestess's energies, upcoming, those in higher positions who fear your destiny, will attack your creativity, your sexuality, to cover their insecurities. Psalms 27 verse 2, it says, so fear not your enemies, even when they fight against you and bring a silent war. That's me. You understand? That's me saying that. But if you read Psalm 27, it's a powerful scripture, the whole of it. But 2 and 3 is what came to me the other day. These messages were highly intuitive, just like the Pisces season that I did last year, which is also silenced, but not forgotten. All of that energy I've already come through, and I feel like if you're resonating with these energies of the readings I've done, even prior to those that's being silenced, but go back to the ones I've shared on my community page today. It's all linked. What was silenced in these messages came through in those messages a year ago. It's not what you say, but it's how. It's not what you do, but it's how. It's the integrity. These groups come for the mindset. So set your boundaries and listen to your inner choices. Always another way. You will know in which direction you choose, and you will also know the consequence of each choice you choose. I feel like you're connecting with some kind of Jekyll and Hyde kind of energy. Because these hedonists, low vibrational occultists, are socially experimenting on masculine energies. There's a need to be a rise of the masculine energies right now. They're using their fears and their weaknesses against them. It's almost like they're giving them gestures and incentives with one hand, but they're taken away from them in another. Because the masculines are feeling the energy of remorse and guilt right now and wanting to come towards you. They feel like they've been let out of a box. 8 of Swords energies. They feel like they could possibly be in the cells, confined, confused, unhealthy, isolated. This is not a healthy hermit energy where you reflect. This is a forceful energy. It's almost like to drive the mind insane kind of energy, concentration kind of energy. And I feel like these are who these masculines have cut reckless deals for. A reckless plan, an idea with no plan, but they're gonna have to be triggered, and they may even be triggered by you as a feminine energy because they can run but they can't hide from themselves.